protected those treated. And my kids were legally kidnapped from kidnapping.
You always hear about senior guardianships. Do you ever hear about California probate guardianships for minor children?
It's me all the time.
The media hides it.
You have no idea what this is.
I will tell you what, there is no more feeling and hopelessness of a sense than personally knowing that your child needs more help so saving them back. For absolutely no reasons whatsoever, only reasons based off of entire lies and from a seriously selfish and wicked woman who used to be your sister, that you had looked up to and put your trust into, and she just in return took every bit of who you are, and is taking every last bit of who my daughter is as well. These courts that look at the best interests of children are failing us. They're not ensuring their safety, and I will never trust them again. Being the one who would put the trust in my sister and allowed her to take off with my children because I was unaware of how she truly was, and she made promises, and even we had a contract that this would in fact not happen to me. She had lied to my children, and I, having lied entirely for her teeth and soul. She is horrible for this, and why would anybody want to do this to their own family? Someone with no morals, that's who. When I lay to bed each night, I'm often unable to fall asleep or woken by the sweats and nightmares, or even dreams that my children are still here, and in the morning there's nothing but silence. I no longer hear little bare footsteps slap the wooden floor. I don't hear laughter, and I don't laugh. I don't see smiles, and I don't smile. I don't feel the happiness I'd once felt, and there's no possibility to ever again have this opportunity to see the rays of light beam my way through the darkness without my children here, because Christine Olsen has taken this away from myself, my children, and our family entirely. I truly miss hearing the cartoons and even minor sibling disagreements. I see nothing. No light, only dark, suffocating me around these four walls that echo their memories that are now closing in on me. Every day that is spent without my children here, this woman, my sister, has caused this, and feels no remorse. I feel she feeds off the pain and suffering, as well each of it and every one of our heartaches. She's not mentally stable, without a doubt. It is so apparent to see my mind. She has passed down this pain she once suffered for many years, and she is ruthless and heartless, having absolutely no existence of moral compass by any means. And I hate to say this, but I truly believe she will stop at nothing to fill her greedy desires. I have not done a damn thing in this world to have ever deserved to miss out on nearly 2 years of my children's lives, and same goes for my children. We didn't earn this on any grounds. We did nothing wrong, and no one will listen. Why is this? Why is no one listening? All of this goes to show how heartless Christine truly is in the end, and how Christine had never deserved children, not even her own, to begin with. There are many reasons why James Dorman had taken off with his children and got them far away from this woman as humanly possible, as he calls her the devil. That goes to show you. It is something that cannot go unseen. Once unmasked, she turns into a beast of darkness and rage, and tears at your life like a soulless monster, taking everything from you. Even your last breath of oxygen, if that's what she wants, she will get it and obtain it in any way possible. No matter who it sets out and destroys in the end, Christine only cares about herself, and as long as she is the last one standing, her shell blinks at the world burning beneath her. She had restricted and supervised visitation with overnight, yet this woman has been known to raise her hand to her children, kidnaps her children, being a flight risk due to an event that legitimately occurred, with many arrest warrants, no stable environment, criminalistic and abusive ex-husband, and guess what? She still got to see her children every day. She still had the chance to speak with them every day, but she just chose not to do it on her own. And she chose to go MIA and ignore her children, everyday phone calls, breaking their hearts time and time again, leaving them shattered to bits and forever curious what having a mother was like. I do not want my kids to learn this life. I want my kids to know what it's like to have their mother and be happy and not raised by a narcissistic, abusive, lying lunatic such as Christine. To see my children hear their voices, receive videos and photographs, and again, I did nothing wrong. Even people in prison, even rapists and child wife beaters, get to see their children and visit and have the option to talk to them every day, but what do I get? Absolutely nothing but silence. I get no opportunity to even visit my children. I don't get to hear their voices or see photographs. No one informs me, just left in this pedal of dismay. All for nothing. What the hell is going on with this world? Questionable the process? Absolutely. You'd be a deranged idiot not to be at this point, and I'm quite pissed off about it as well. My babies are in danger, and everyone is just turning their head the other way. I could care less about listening to my warning them. Let's pray and hope it doesn't get too far before my children are seriously hurt.
Right? That's the butt.
Yeah.
Lila, back up.
Back up, Lila.
Back up, baby.
Go.
Hit it.
That is the butt side.
Watch how Ivy looks like she's trying to have a little bit of fun, and then Christine looks at her. She immediately stands up straight, as if she's disciplined. And watch her eyes when she notices Christine looking at her, and her smile turn to an instant frown. And look at the bruising under her eye. Altered the photograph my ass. Someone needs to help my baby. Immediately.
I love you, Ivy.
Mommy.
Oh, you're beautiful. I love you. Be safe.
My daughter, Ivy Quinn. She's so beautiful. She's funny. She's outgoing. She talks non-stop, and it's just great. She has courage like no other, and a personality, 1 in a million, that you'll never meet anybody like her. That little girl that you saw in the video while she's in Christine's care is not my daughter. That is not who she was when she left, and I want to know what the hell Christine is doing to my child, because she does not deserve that. There is no reason why anybody should ever want to change who Ivy is. She is so brilliant. Yes, she's hyper, but she is so much fun, and she's so caring. I want to know why she's getting away with doing this to my daughter. Why it's being overlooked or further ignored every day. Why my daughter's being ignored, and her safety's being ignored, and I'm being ignored. That is not in the best interest of my child. I can guarantee you that Christine is destroying my baby girl. And the courts are allowing it. I heard she hardly talks anymore. That's not like Ivy. I know what's in the best interest of my child. I know her better than anybody ever could. And Christine, I swear on everything that I am, is not in the best interest of my children.
Make you happy like this. Make you happy.
Please make me happy. My children need to be home where they belong. My children need to be home. Ivy will always make me happy. They need to come back home where they belong.
The mother wants her children back and is willing to make outrageous allegations, interfere with counseling, and ignore the guardian's boundaries set in coordination with the minor's therapists. The mother's version of events regarding her recent visit to the counseling center varies greatly from that of the guardians. The mother reported conduct demonstrates concerning patterns of negative behavior, and a children disregards emotional health. Behavior, and a complete disregard to the children's emotional health. Mother's allegations that her daughters are being abused in the guardian's home appear to be completely unfounded. Both minors are in weekly counseling where they are routinely questioned and observed by an independent counselor. Any alleged abuse would likely be noticed by these trained mandated reporters. Any alleged abuse would likely be noticed by these trained mandated reporters. Abuse would likely be noticed by these trained mandated reporters. Additionally, both minors are finally receiving consistent individual education plans. These minors appear to be negatively impacted by contact with the mother at this time. The mother has disregarded the boundaries established by the guardian for the minor's emotional age health. The mother did not provide the results of a drug test as requested. respectfully recommended that the petition to terminate guardianship be denied visitation if any should be left in the sole discretion of the guardian to act in the best interest of the minors and in consultation with
It has been 511 days since I last seen my children. 359 since I found out the truth and showed my sisters and it's killing me. What happened? The worst mistake of my fucking life. That's what I'm like.
I know, but that's just, if you were to see all this in front of you, then you would understand a little bit better. But her story, yes, there's so much going on that, you know, maybe just looking to her.
I listened to you, Michelle, but like I said, say you contact CPS, you contact the FBI. That's a lot for them not to do anything. So I'm trying to figure out why today.
No kidding.
Yeah, welcome to Duke County.
So today is the day on which you have her served for the guardianship termination paperwork, and you're concerned that she may take off with your kids. Is that
Yeah, because
correct?
I think that what her point is she's on the verge. If Christine finds out that somebody knows all of her dirt and all of her background and all these aliases and all this bullshit she's been doing, that she's been hiding from all these years, that if it comes to light, she's going to bounce with the kids. That's the concern. That's the bottom line. And Michelle has looked up, forward, backwards, sideways, 7 ways from sundown, and found out a whole bunch of shit she didn't know about her sister for a long time. And now it's come to light. I mean, that's the concern. That's the bottom line concern. And when her own daughter says that, hey, my mom used to lock us in the door and ran all over the United States, she stole us from her dad. Where she told her whole family that their dad stole them and moved to Germany. When that wasn't the deal. Her mom and her sister's mom doesn't know to this day the truth. She still thinks that her ex-husband kidnapped the kids and took them to Germany. And that's why they don't have contact. You know, she lied on the court paperwork. So
She told them that they were in Germany and they're not.
Yeah.
She knows that. She just lived with her.
yeah, she pulled this bullshit move with Michelle, and her ex-husband, or her ex-boyfriend, the baby's dad that stole the kids to begin with, called him and said, hey, I need you to sign this piece of paper so Michelle can't take off with the kids. She calls Michelle and says, I need you to sign this piece of paper. It's only so that he can't come and take the kids again. It told her mom told Michelle's mom the same thing, and come to find out that piece of paper that she had her sign, and fact book that she was out of state, was so that she would never be notified of any of the hearings. And that's how she got guardianship. The GC 220, yeah. So, I mean, she slickered a greased up pig, you know what I mean? And she spun this huge story about Michelle so when we showed up on the 30th to go down there, when we showed up down there for court to find out what was going to happen with David, she's got this, the judge didn't even want to hear anything Michelle had to say when she'd never seen her before in her life, because that woman has said so much bullshit about her and has them believing it. But there's nothing factual. There's nothing saying she's ever been an unfit mom or she's been an abusive mom. There's nothing that says that. It's her. She lied.
Who is David?
David is her youngest, Lila's dad, the one that kidnapped the kids and took off to Nevada with them. And yeah, but the thing that didn't make sense, the first person they called was Michelle. CPS did in Nevada to have her and her mom come and pick up the kids. So there was nothing wrong with her being a mom then, you know. And this all started because Michelle was dating this dude that walked away from the Del Norte County Jail. The damn sergeant, he was joking around, hit the buzzer, and the sergeant buzzed him out, not one door but two, and he walked away. So that's what brought all the police attention to Michelle to begin with. And they kept kicking in the doors and coming over because Michelle was the only one that ever talked to him, that he ever called on the phone or she ever came and visited him. So they assumed that she knew about what he was doing. She had no freaking clue. But when you show up with parole and probation every day, you know, in full gear, separating her and the kids with guns, you know, separating her from her shit. Ivy 7 just turned 7, and Lila's 4, 5. When you separate them, I mean, it's traumatic to the kids. That's why she called her sister and said, hey, look, this is crazy here, and they're not going to stop. They keep fucking harassing me, you know? Yeah, and they said they said that she did something to deter the police so Robert could get away. But that had nothing to do with it. She had no clue. That's how all this started. So she calls her sister and says, look, it's chaotic. I don't know what to do. I'm just going to leave. I'm going to move somewhere. You know, start fresh. The kids don't need to be around this. You know, it's traumatic to them. Can you help me out, sis? She says, yeah, absolutely. She said, okay, well, me and the girls will come and stay with you. She says, well, the girls can, because we got a lot going on ourselves. She's got text messages saying after she'd given her, hey, after they made their own agreement, stating that they didn't want to, she says, well, yeah, hey, just I need you to sign this so the kids are covered for medical and this and that. She has the text message, but Christine said, nothing legal because, we don't want the cops involved in our life because Adam's going through the custody thing with his kids in his act right now, so we don't need any legal troubles. We don't need the police around. It's a text message straight from Christine. So what does she have to hide? I understand what you're saying from a professional standpoint of how if you knew Michelle or if you had ever met her, she's timid. You know what I mean? She doesn't speak. She's not a good speaker of her mind. She doesn't. That's a character defect for sure.
Well, I'll give you a call back here in a bit. And I can give you my information as well if you would like.
Okay, yeah, that'd be helpful. Thank you.
Let me know when you're ready and I can give you that.
Alright, find a pen real quick.
Okay.
Alright.
So the log number is 2089, and my badge number is, my last name is Pass.
Alright, thank you.
Of course.
Did
Alright.
I'm sorry.
What's that?
Did anybody check on babies?
My sergeant said that you're gonna have to take that up with the judge, so.
On checking on them? A wellness check?
Yeah.
I had good intentions, but the outcome resulted in every day silence. The silence never seems so fucking loud.
This video you'll see where my friend Jeremy and I had gone down to the Esplanade in Chico, California. It's the day that he was going to serve Christine Olsen the termination guardianship paperwork, but she had not been home. It was Adam there, and he said she won't be home till later, so I think either later that night or, the following day, that's when Jane went back and served her. Never went up to Christine's house. What happened was Jeremy had dropped me off to the beginning of the trailer park or the RV park or wherever she lives, just the very beginning of the entrance, and I waited there and he dropped me off and he took the truck down to where her house is, and I waited right on the outside, so I wasn't going in or anything. And when I was waiting, I saw a little trash trailer. It was just a trailer, and I seen it this really brand new looking suitcase, and I was like, huh, weird, because it looked new. I was just wondering, I was curious, I was bored, I was sitting there and waiting. So when I got closer, I noticed some toys inside that trash bin, and I noticed immediately those were my children's toys. That was the same barn house that my mother had gotten Ivy when she was just a baby. It was the same chair that I had gotten Ivy when she was a baby. All kinds of things that were only Ivy's things. Things that Ivy even asked me about. Christine was throwing away, just Ivy stuff. Ivy asked me about this wolf that she had. She's asking me where it went. It was in the garbage because Christine threw it in the garbage. I said, just Ivy stuff. And inside the suitcase was a bunch of empty wine bottles. A bunch. That's concerning. Nobody should be drinking that much, especially in the care of children. Not to mention, I know it's theirs because it says Adam Lure on the suitcase. I did not park, nor go to her house. I don't even know what her house looks like, except for the photographs where I saw it was for sale. I never went to her house. I never stopped her. I never harassed her. Nothing. My friend Jeremy never stalked her or harassed her or anything. He went to her house to have her served for termination of guardianship, which he's allowed to do. Seeing is just bull crap. I came across this trailer and I noticed some of Ivy's stuff in it, and this is the garbage trailer. This is all of Ivy's stuff that I had her bring with her. All the stuff that she grew up with. This is Adam Lore right here. Adam Lore. Full of fucking wine bottles. Alcoholics. Full to the top of wine bottles. All like Ivy's stuff. Ivy's stuff thrown out here.
grew up with. She knows, she loves him. Like, yeah, he was in her garden house. She knows it, she knows it. She knows he loves him. It's like, you would have to do. Why would she do that?
She doesn't stop him.
He goes, are you sure that's your girl's stuff? There's a lot of stuff like that out there. They say, yeah, that's my girl's stuff. I know it's all. Sure enough, outdoors, just freaking things, wine bottles.
Saying that you're putting it up on somebody else. So could you realistically please give her some kind of relief as to what's going on, or what are your intentions, or because no matter what guy she was with, there's no fucking way in hell your sister ever had anything but the best intentions and protection for her daughters. That's why she called you to begin with. But somewhere along the line you lost sight of that.
I don't understand why Ivy's so missing. Just Ivy's, just Ivy's.
Tell your mom. Tell your mom. Don't take it so personal like that.
How can I not?
How do you...
She's the one that's hurt. She's the one that's getting fucking put in the background. She's the one with the small eye. And now she's limiting her life from her. Now she's limiting the only thing she's doing exactly what she should be, taking every little thing that she can from her. Everything that exists of me, she's erasing me.
Why?
She's erasing me.
It has nothing to do with you. You don't know that. I'm thinking about you. It's not about you.
She's erasing me from my baby.
Honey, no, she's not. No, she's not. No. Look, if you I understand, and I have empathy, and I feel...
No, don't me. I'm not saying it is my fault.
I don't mean it like that.
She's trying to erase me.
Listen.
What else can she take from me? How can someone want to destroy innocence? Want to destroy happiness? Ivy's bright, happy soul, and full of life and life. She's just like, she's killing her. She's killing her life. Why? And I can't do anything about it. It's my fault. It's just a suitcase full. It's not even like, oh, I can't open it. Get it all the way back up. All the way back there. And it's just full to the fucking top. And that's not even like, that's just a suitcase. It's not the trailer that was full.
Behind closed doors, you never know. It's usually those who appear to be just fine, perfect, that are the worst. More than half of us will just accept it and turn our heads the other way and choose to not see it. Even if we see it, we choose not to. And sometimes it's gotten so bad to where you don't even see it. You're just so convinced that this life is so great when you know you're miserable inside. You don't want to see the truth. Because you're afraid of that misery, but you don't realize you are miserable. You allow these things to slip. You let yourself forget the importance of everything. Life, the people in your life, to enjoy every moment. You get lost in the jungle of lives beyond.